Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is our Sunday meditation, and it's kind of a special day for us because, as you can perhaps see, this is also the first day of our spring children's program. And we especially welcome all of you children and all of you parents and all of you who are here today. I think we have some other guests. How many of you are here for the first time? Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. And how many of you are parents whose children are here? Okay, look around, parents. You might want to talk to each other later. Wonderful. So Sunday is a meditation that we do together that combines silent sitting with using sound. And since a number of you are new, I'll also mention a bit about our surroundings. All of the images that you see here are Tibetan-style paintings, and they're paintings of beings who are expressions of different qualities of enlightenment. So what does enlightenment mean in the Buddhist tradition? In the Buddhist tradition, it means two things that we can understand very easily, actually. It means the eradication of all negativity, of all afflictions, of all, we could say, limitations, which we are all usually quite aware of in our lives. And it is also, it's not just the elimination of things that hold us back, it's also the full flowering of all of our potential, which, if you consider what a human being is capable of, really, it's quite amazing. Creativity, intelligence, kindness. Human beings are quite amazing. And so what this word that in English gets translated as enlightenment really means these two things. As part of setting the stage for making possible the reduction of afflictions and the increase of all potential, we quiet our minds. That's the first step. So all of these beings around us remind us of what's possible when we quiet our minds to become quite transformed in very positive ways. So our practice here on Sundays is to quiet our minds, which is something of great value to anything that you do in life. We practice being present, just quite a challenge to actually be in the present moment rather than ruminating about the past or in fearful or excited anticipation of the future. And when we look at what is going on in our minds, most of the time it's one of those things. We're worrying about the future, we're reflecting often with criticism on the past. And actually there have been studies that strongly show that what Western scientists are now calling rumination, what Buddhists call distraction, this kind of rumination, oh, I said the wrong thing, I should have done this, oh, I'm going to be late again, oh, I lost my cool, all these kinds of voices that are, perhaps they sound kind of familiar, there was a headline in one magazine recently, a ruminating mind is an unhappy mind, because we tend to be hamster-like in going over and over and over those things that are running on the treadmill of things that bother us. And this doesn't make us happy. And it also doesn't create solutions. What's much more likely to give us a fresh start and a fresh perspective in moving forward outside the treadmill that we are trapped in is actually just to settle down and not try to solve anything, and in fact, not try to do anything. Just be here, quiet. So that is a learning curve for all of us, and it's what we call practice. We practice here, and we very much hope and encourage you to take this practice or any piece of it home as a way to becoming more present in your lives, whatever your lives offer you by way of challenge and reward, to be present to that, to be present to the people in your lives. Offering attention, we often say, is a form of love. It is an act of kindness to pay attention. And it's difficult in our distracted world. And recognizing both that it's difficult and that it's important, we practice. So our practice here has to do with settling. Say, if we'll do a guided meditation now, a few moments of attention to body and posture, because your body is the seat of your mind. We'll be sitting in silence some, and then we'll do a slow chanting of the sound hung, hung, hung. And why do we do that? Because sometimes having that kind of focus, which is also a kinesthetic focus, if you make a sound, hung, you can feel it. You can feel it in your body. When you pay attention to your body, you're in the present moment automatically. Body is always in the present. It's our minds that skitter back and forth. So we use this sound, and why this sound? Hung, according to ancient traditions in Asia, is a gathering sound. It's a sound that kind of brings us together and coheres us and helps us, therefore, to unify our often very scattered minds. And you can just notice your own experience, how it affects you to be in silence, how it affects you to be in sound, and the way they, in fact, can complement each other. Okay? And then we'll have a little break. You can talk to each other about how it was for you, if you wish. And then we'll come back again with a closing meditation. And at that time, we will dedicate to the world the benefit of our practice, and also read the names that you are writing in this book that's passing around. And because the process of being in the present moment is really amplified when we have a kind of big sense of the space that we're in. You know, when we're worried, the way your mind is, you may notice, is very tightly wound into some narrow topic, like, you know, my faux pas, the thing I did wrong yesterday, and that's kind of all you're thinking about. And it's a very cramped kind of space. So we like to begin with a kind of open space, which comes about through our simply wishing well for all living beings throughout space. And then there you are. There's a kind of big frame for our practice. And I don't know if you have the sheets with you or not, but it's very simple. We sing, may all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. And that's really our motivation, because our practice is a way to heal pain, our own and others, through the attention that we offer. So, as you wish, please join us in that, and then we'll go on to the meditation. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. And so you're sitting here, and just notice that there is, in fact, a noticeable contact between your cushion or seat and the bottom of your body. You can feel that contact. You can feel that that is a supportive contact. There's support that's holding you. And that support is a very deep support. After all, your cushion, your chair is supported by the floor and foundation of this building. And if we look into this even more, we understand that each of us is seated directly above the center of the earth. So we take a moment to feel that there's support actually coming to you from the center of the earth. And this recognition of the physical support that we experience can translate into a sense of being supported emotionally as a human being. this support that comes from the center of the earth is enhanced when we consider, even for a moment, that the center of the earth is, in fact, in direct alignment with the bottom of your spine, another place of great support in your body. And reflecting on this support is a way to invite relaxation. And you can feel also, maybe if you rock a little bit, there's a place where you can actually feel the sits bones, the center of your buttocks, and you're sitting on them. That's why they're called sits bones. And when you sit on them, the support from there transfers to your whole skeleton. So you're just acknowledging the support that your own body brings you. And this means that your muscles can relax. We often hold tension in our shoulders, around the mouth and cheeks, in our hands. But recognizing the support of our skeleton and also the central axis of your body, which is a different kind of support, from the center of the earth to the bottom of your spine, to the center of your belly, your heart, your throat, your crown, the apex of space. There is this great alignment that moves through you and that also offers support. So let yourself take a moment to settle into your seat in this way. Just relax. It's a relaxation that yields clarity, not the kind of relaxation that we do in front of the TV or the intense crouching that we do in front of a computer. This is different. Just feel how that is. And noticing this axis of alignment through your body, that it's straight, not rigidly upright, but straight, offering a smooth path for your inhalation and exhalation. Of course, you're breathing. And with a sense of being settled onto and supported by your cushion, your seat, let your attention rest gently on your breath and just feel it, that's all. You're not really doing anything. You're just present to your own experience as a breathing human being. We'll do that for a minute or two. And whenever you notice that your mind has gone off elsewhere, which it will do, you just bring it back. It's no problem. Just bring it back whenever you notice this. When we sound the sound hung, we all do this at our own pace. That means you inhale, and then your exhalation offers forth the sound hung for as long or short a breath as feels natural to you. We'll do this together until ring the chime. And we'll go back to silence after that and alternate, as we said. You can do 2 hungs in one breath. Very nice. So now we have a little bit of a break. And we'll come back. Harvey will lead closing meditation, and we'll say a few words more about what's going on here. Okay.
There are some refreshments to the back. Help yourselves.
I ask precious 3 gems from deep
Yes,
in
if
my
any parents have not signed in, please do sign in,
heart.
parents. And if any
See
non-parents
me
have not signed in,
with
please sign in. We
compassion.
value your information. That allows
I
us to
have
keep
no
in touch with you and
other
update you on what's happening here.
hope. This dear human body impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death? Good and faithful student. The 5 skandhas gather and disperse who knows when. Heartily think on death, good and faithful student. Karma never deceives, so give up wrongful thoughts. Engage Dharma wholly.
yena me do Thaga me yele te mi ta to bole te Ki de ye ye te de kar lo ma Andi pung in so pa na ki lo te men do Ni ki war so hi te de kar lo ma Lenje lo me yen pe me gi do par po yen la ye
I ask precious three gems from deep in my pained heart. See me with compassion. I have no other hope. This dear human body, impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death, good and faithful student? The
friends, relatives, pets, whatever, we just offer our kind wishes and intentions at the end of our practice together.
Which the children are also learning to do. They send happy wishes to everyone. So we're practicing being present. We're practicing mindfulness, which is a basis actually for all other qualities. And this summer, our teaching Tuesdays, first and third Tuesdays of June, July, and August, we are cultivating equanimity, which is a very actually powerful and positive state that can emerge from the cultivation of mindfulness. It means not being so overwhelmed by whatever comes at you in the world. It's a process, this cultivation of equanimity. So you're very welcome to come to that. I just wanted you to know.
So as you all notice, we're a bit crowded here today, and so we just decided today that we need to move. And we worked very, very fast, and we got some volunteer lists up on our kitchen door. And I can't underestimate the necessity that we have for volunteers. We have about a whole class of Episcopal high school students here today. You know who you are. You can round up your buddies and volunteer to do anything you would like for us. We would love to have some young energy. But really, really seriously, the next handful of Saturdays, aside from Mother's Day, which might be, is that next Saturday already?
Sunday.
We are doing next Saturday? Oh, that Sunday is Mother's Day. So we'll start next Saturday. We have a lot of tasks, and I noticed that most people wanted to get involved with the sacred object, so I thought it would be an opportune time to mention that classically, in at least some Buddhist countries, the highest task of all was to clean the toilets. And I don't know if it was the highest, but it was certainly the one most written about in all the literature. And so it really is a practice to be able to mindfully contribute our labor and really work mindfully and with awareness. And it's also important to recognize that packing office materials is as significant to the operation of this organization as packing the sacred objects. Without the office, the sacred objects won't have a home. And we do think in terms of dependent origination in Buddhism. And really, high and low all depend on one another. So office and sacred are totally dependent on one another. And our experience is that actually moving is a wonderful opportunity to meet other people in the community, to make friends, to strengthen the sense of our community and really the bonds that we have with one another. If you have some friends, relatives, pets that you want to bring to help us move, please bring them all. Dogs are welcome. It really is, and it's, we need the help. Help! We really do.
Saddle up your collie.
We'll put a couple of printer cartridges in there. Yeah, we need trucks? We need some trucks and vans and money. So all the truckfuls of money. So Mary Scott, who is our executive director, is the one who's coordinating everything. If you have a particular gift that you wish to offer by way of services or financial support in this middle of all of this, she's the person to talk with. Also, we want to let you know that this Tuesday will be the last of our Changing for Good series, and then the third Tuesday of May and the first Tuesday of June, which will be in our new facility in June. The last Tuesday in May will be our last Tuesday class here. Both that last Tuesday of the third Tuesday of May and the first Tuesday of June, both of those will be free and open to the public and be introductions to meditation. So if you have any friends, again, relatives, pets I don't know about, who you wish to have exposed to some very, very basic meditation, again, it's free. It's really to serve, to build our community, and all are welcome. And it's also an introduction to meditation. We do a little teaching on Sundays, but we'll do a lot more on those two occasions. So if you really want to, if you're new to practice and wish to learn some new things, we welcome you. I'm going to sort of do a twofer. It's going to be both coming attractions and sort of a little bit of an introduction to our meditation. We can sort of officially say that as of today, we're sort of warming up for the fall, and it's a long warm up. But we're very, very excited that in the end of September, Robert Thurman and Sharon Salzberg will be coming, and we'll be doing a joint program at the Rothko Chapel for a whole Saturday. And that's entitled Love Your Enemies. And so it's really in preparation for that we'll be doing our summer program on equanimity and evenness. And then in the fall, we will have our Tuesday teachings will be about love and compassion, sympathetic joy and equanimity. And we will also, following the Salzberg and Thurman event, we will have a program on, we're not sure what we're going to call it, but it's basically about working with self-hatred and self-criticism, which I often call the common cold of mental health. But it really is, it's kind of crippling to most folks in our society and culture. And interestingly enough, when people get involved with spiritual life, it often gets worse before it gets better. There's a strange way in which when we start working with improving ourselves, we have a kind of natural inclination to get more evaluative about how we're doing. It's kind of the dark underbelly of self-improvement is self-criticism. And the roots of that do happen to be actually just historically, as an aside. The Puritans started it all. It's actually true. They were the first self-help authors, and they encouraged self-scrutiny. And it, what's the guy's name? The Self and Transformation. She's giving me that look. Anyway, Yeah, so we are going to have a workshop on self-criticism and self-hatred, and
Point is self-love.
and the and the point is self-love. Thank you, dear. And we're going to learn how to overcome that with self-compassion. And the lead-in towards what I wanted to say is tenderness. So there are really tenderness towards self and tenderness towards others, and that's what that workshop will ultimately be about. I was, of course, thinking while I was meditating, so but I came up with something interesting. Meditation we teach on Sunday is actually quite simple, and I thought of a metaphor. It's a bit like when we're children, we're learning any kind of musical instrument. We have to learn scales, and I think most people underappreciate the scales, and I think I would call maybe some of what we do here on Sundays the scales of human richness. And that is to say that, there are actually some very, very ornate meditations. And ornate is probably a good word. They're very, very detailed. They're very, very granular. There are a lot of things you can do. And there's a place for that kind of practice. But there's also a place, people are often attracted to the ornate before they've mastered the simple. And when it comes to human richness in particular, I think that we forego a lot of value if we try to get involved with very, very fancy practice and we don't even know how to, in a way, be with ourselves, and be with ourselves in a present and kind manner. And so in this deceptively simple practice of whether it's chanting Hum or being with our breath, the two, and there are many skills that we could single out of the scales of human richness for mention. I'll just mention two, and then we'll just do a very brief sitting. We're cultivating a presence awareness, which is just a sense of both being present and aware. And there's a lot to be said about why I say that, but it is both a presence and an awareness. Presence is really referring to the sense of being with ourselves, and awareness is to the sense of knowing. And presence is important, so you don't have a sense that you're doing too much work. And the other thing is a sense of tenderness. And it's implicit in presence awareness, but I think it's important for us to hear the word tenderness in a practice of mindfulness. So when we're sitting with our breath, we're just very tenderly being with that breathing. We're not working very, very hard. We're being with it. And those are two enormously significant, actually, attributes of ultimate reality, as well as attributes that could be very, very significant for our mental health. So that being said, we'll just do a very short sitting, and then we'll be ready for the descent of the youth. And we'll read the names. So today we wish to bring to mind the following individuals and wish them well, wish them health and happiness and fortune if they've passed, certainly the best in that passage for the future. Alan Ferris and the Bardo Ferris family, Rose Levy and the Bardo Levy family and friends, Karen, Zachary, Larry, Joe, Richard, Steve Ballard, Sally, Jenny, Gina, Tiffin and Derek Wong, Lisa Russell, Stephen Fife, Thelma Moretto family, Lydia Pinto, Sonia, Raphael, Mercado family, Bobby and Baby, Michael and the Bardo, Dahlia Penaloza, Christian Cray, is it? Katie, Danny, Carol, Eileen Corell, Jack Corell, Wiley Graybell, Ryan Stephenson, Robert Perlick, Alice and Kieran, Natalie and Sean, Ed and Diane, Seve, or Shive, Bill, Millie Schneider, Barbara Kistler, Glenn Hopes, Amos, Carolyn Bartlett, John, Cheryl Henderson, Bonnie Henderson, Buddy Henderson, Annie Heinrich and the Bardo, Richard Darcy, Sr., Bill Shays, Tanisha Alexander, the children abducted in Nigeria, and all human slaves, Camille Bardo, Joel and the Bardo, Brian and the Bardo, Darlene Campbell, Bobby, all ill children, Amanda Tramberger, Nellie, Jim, Mario, Marcello, Melissa, Johnny, Elijah, family and friends, Jessica, Gwen Johnson, Rosie and the Bardo, Rich, Katie, Laura, Sarah, Stewart, Alexander, Matthew, Peter, Jane, Bill, Jerry, Doug, Tabby, Kaiden, Helen, Bauer family, Jerry, Jason, James, Jeremy, Josie, Nancy, Tim, Anne, and Pascale. So with all of those in mind and all who perhaps didn't make it into the book but who are in mind, we just chant one ah of well-wishing as a conclusion.
Thanks again for being here today, everyone. And just a reminder that we need your support more than ever. And we would greatly appreciate any contributions in any regard. And there's a bowl, a red bowl on that table for your.
Oh, and one of the things that were...
And if you have not signed in, we would very much love to capture your email address. And we would love to know how you found out about us, if you haven't told me already. And you are invited to think about becoming a member of Dawn Mountain. We have a wonderful group of members, and in exchange for your membership support, you receive the Tuesday teachings for free, as well as discounts on retreats and retail purchases, and our unbound gratitude. So talk to me. We have some wonderful board members here today. Raise your hand if you're a member of the board of directors of Dawn Mountain. Gary, Janet, Joanne, Terry, Sharon. Are these people in the front row or what? So questions, they're available. I'm available. Thanks again for being here. Enjoy.
And one other thing, we actually had a board meeting this weekend, and we realized that we actually desperately need volunteer help. Most significantly, Gary needs volunteer help with running the video program. And if you have any interest, capability, or know anyone who would be interested in volunteering in general, Terry will be the person you would talk with her bright red hair. And Gary is our audiovisual recruiter, and this is a great way for anybody with geeky, nerdy tendencies to really just spiritualize the heck out of those tendencies and to learn more and to be of enormous significance to the ongoing really spread of the teachings. There are people literally all over the world watching us, in India and Russia in particular, strange to say. So it really is a great gift that we feel we're offering, and you could be part of that, and not to be underestimated, the impact of what you would be doing. So please, please, we really need your help, especially on this audiovisual thing. If you have any inclination to do that, please talk with Gary.
Perhaps you could also, if Gary is inundated, as we hope, talk with Joe, if I may say, sitting in the back. He's a recent volunteer recruit, and has starred and is doing a lot of good work now, so you can talk to him about what that experience is like.
Thank you all.